Hello, welcome to episode 27 of the Islanders podcast. My name is James.
And my name is Daniel.
And my name's Yan. So today we're going to talk about our hometown.
Hometown?
Like understanding a city is just quite similar with understanding a person.
Yes.
Like all cities have their own authentic landscape. They have their history and different memories of people on this place, and their families live here across ages. And here we're going to discover which city we're going to discover is Taipei.
Taipei.
Yeah. Yes.
Taipei, the land of dragons, the capital of Taiwan, and also one of like my hometown.
Also mine.
With our Islanders. And so how can we begin to talk about Taipei? So this is the first question for you. Why Taipei is called the land of dragons?
Why? Yeah, why? Why is Taipei called the land of dragons?
So in Taiwan, there's a kind of interesting culture. The people from other counties, they will call people from Taipei the dragon people. So they thought that they're peoples from like land of dragons, and it's like kind of teasing or kind of
sarcastic.
Yeah. So which did the reference come from?
Well, I actually do not know.
I do not know. So actually, this is a sarcastic from the manga called One Piece. You know
One Piece.
It's
Yeah.
a
One Piece.
Japanese manga that tells a story about pirates and all the stories about pirates. And there's a kind of people there called the dragon people and live in the lands of dragons.
Yes.
And they are very proud of themselves and they look down to other people. They think other people are not very good. We're the best.
Yes.
And this is the general image of Taipei, people from Taipei to other peoples from other counties.
Yeah, high social status. Rich.
Yeah. So us, the only people who was not come from Taipei, James, how do you look about us as Taipei people from Taipei?
Actually, I've heard this name.
Yes.
I think when I was in high school or something.
High school, really?
Yeah.
So long? Okay.
But when I heard this name, I didn't think it was anything too special. Because I live in Taoyuan, which is quite near Taipei. Not similar. I wouldn't say similar, but there's no this kind of feel of high social status maybe in Taipei.
So there's not such image for you.
Yeah.
Looking
I mean, Taipei is obviously more expensive to live in.
Yeah, really. Actually,
but apart from that, I find Taipei people to be quite nice.
Yeah.
Not actually like
thank
what
you
people
very much
say.
As people from Taipei. Yeah. So.
It's just for fun.
It's just for fun. And I've heard about some talks about why Lands of Dragons and why they thought Taipei people don't know about the life of normal people. I think they tell me about as image is that, railways, right?
Yes,
so
railway.
Every main cities in Taiwan, they have railways. But actually, there's in all the big cities in Taiwan, they're only Taipei, the railway is underground.
Okay.
So every other cities they have railway just right across through the city. So maybe to them they will say that, just go to the front railway station or back railway station and you will know which place they're like actually talking about.
Yes.
But if you're talking to Taipei people from Taipei, they don't understand what you actually mean. So it's like, if you go to the front of Taipei main station, they have no idea where you're pointing at. But for people from other cities, if you talk about it, go to the front part of like Jiayi station, they'll know what you're talking about. So it's like a language difference.
Yeah.
Because of the city landscape is very different.
Because it's very much a metropolitan city. It's much bigger than other cities in Taiwan. Much developed. And
also their metro and their U-bikes and their different kind of systems, I would say. So it's like a systematical different between other cities.
In fact, we're going to talk about the transportation of Taipei in the next episode. So be sure to follow that on Saturday.
Yeah, okay.
But, so this one, I think you want to focus on maybe the culture of Taipei, or maybe walk through Taipei a little bit. Yeah.
So if talking about Taipei, I would like to divide Taipei into different district to dig deeper into that. So first part we're going to talk about is the East District of Taipei. It's also the heartland of the Dragon City.
Yes.
And the East District, mainly called the so-called Da'an and Xinyi District.
Yeah,
true capital city.
So the most expensive. So what's your general image about the East Districts?
Well, I think the price of land is in its district is the most expensive.
Expensive, yeah, very very expensive, and the buildings, yeah, the apartment and there are luxurious apartments, like all over around the road.
Yeah.
So how's your image of the if there's something to play in the East District?
I think there is a lot of food in the East District.
Food, right?
Yeah, food. A lot of good restaurants in the East District.
Yeah, very good restaurants.
Yeah, and in Xinyi District, you have a lot of maybe malls.
Yes.
Taipei 101.
Yeah. And Apple stores, Apple Store, yeah.
So only one Apple Store in Taiwan.
And there is also I think it's the biggest park in all around Taipei. It's called the Da'an Park.
Da'an Park.
It's called Forest Park. Yeah, it's called itself Forest Park. And it's like the biggest green land in the whole city of Taipei. Mm-hmm. So for my high school, it's just across the road of Da'an Park.
Yeah, and it's like Central Park.
Central Park, just
in
the smaller version of Central Park.
Yes.
And actually, Da'an Park is for you, Da'an Park is kind of a green space, and a lot of parents will take their families there and play together in the weekend.
Yeah.
But actually, if you not know about this, like 20 years before, Da'an Park is actually the ghetto of Taipei.
Oh, really?
They're actually ghettos for of the Taiwan.
It's really hard to imagine.
Like 20 years or 30 years, maybe around that time ago. Actually, the East District are the poorest people live in East District.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And at that time, the most prosperous part of Taiwan is the West District. So we will talk about in the next part. So at that time, actually, East District are for poor people, and the lands and buildings there are very cheap. But since the city was growing and they become the new township for the Taipei City, so the ghettos just became a Central Park after 20 years. So actually, reading about this part of history, that just shocked me very much.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to imagine that it was a ghetto. So if you look at the Taiwanese movies 20 years ago, you will find that actually a ghetto. There's like small houses everywhere and poor people around. Yeah. Okay, so
now it's a big park.
It's a very big park.
People just go biking or a lot of sports there.
Do some leisure activities. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes also concerts, right?
Concerts, a lot of concerts and outdoor plays and drama. So it's kind of a very good place to if you want to
enjoy nature.
In Taipei,
in the city, quite cool.
And around Da'an Park, there's the iconic building of
Taiwan.
Taipei, or maybe the whole Taiwan. Mm-hmm. It is the Taipei 101.
Taipei 101.
The tallest building.
So it had been the tallest building of the world
for a very short time.
Yeah. And soon being passed by some Arab building. Mm-hmm. Just passed it, but once it was the
pride of Taiwan.
Pride of Taiwan.
It still is. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So for you, what's your image about Taipei 101? What kind of thing or what kind of a building is it?
Well, it's bamboo-like.
Bamboo-like. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a stage after stage. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's the place you see fireworks in US party.
Yeah. So do you know about what Taipei 101 is for? Like the whole building, do you think it's a mall or restaurant or something?
Business center, right?
Business center. Yeah, actually it's a business center. And actually there's office.
Oh, office.
In the Taipei 101. So you can tell, if you work in Taipei 101, you can tell somebody, I live in Taipei 101. I work in Taipei 101. My office in the 95th floor.
This is a big office building. But there's a mall under
in the first floor, I think. Yeah. And there's also there actually
observatory.
Observatory.
Yeah, you can go up there.
Taipei 101.
But I've never been up there.
Yeah, and
me too.
I've gone once at night, and it's very expensive. But at night, you can just have a panoramic view of the whole Taipei City.
Whole city,
it's a very interesting experience.
Cool experience.
Yeah. And there's some there's an element we can't miss about Taipei 101 is the fireworks.
Yeah.
Yes, fireworks. Yeah.
So in New Year's Eve, we'll. Taiwanese people would like to have fireworks to celebrate. There's a whole new year, and then especially Taipei 101, they will prepare a show of fireworks.
Yes.
And if you live in Taipei, and you will most people will go to check out the Taipei one, and the TV will like
broadcast
the fireworks. So have you seen the true fireworks just underneath Taipei 101?
Yes, I did.
As a person from Taipei?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, but the fireworks actually was stunning, but it's actually quite struggle to find your way back to your house.
So crowded, right?
Yeah, it's very crowded.
Yeah.
So have you, James?
Yeah, I've been once.
Oh, really?
I think 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago.
Yeah, we were at I think a memorial building when
the memorial.
From there we can see the Taipei 101.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And we got a nice view.
So is it crowded?
It's pretty crowded.
It's really crowded.
Pretty crowded.
Yeah.
I think I got home at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. That's crazy.
And we drove there. So
actually, that's quite early.
It's about 3 o'clock.
That's quite early.
Yeah, the traffic is crazy.
Because we drove and we drive back to Taoyuan. So it's
so they
better.
got it jammed.
It's much better. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's all for Taipei 101.
Yeah.
And around Taipei 101, there's a famous spot, tourist spot, or maybe like hiking spot for Taipei people to get around is Xiangshan. Is a mountain. The name of the mountain is Elephant, but we just call it Xiangshan. Elephant Mountain. Yeah. So have you been to Elephant Mountain?
Yes, I've been there for maybe 4 times.
So why did you go there?
Well, to have a bird eye view of the whole Taipei Basin.
You have the whole view. You just have the high point. Yeah,
you can see whole of Taipei City, right?
The view is quite significant,
spectacular.
And have you seen the night view on Elephant Mountain?
Normally, I will stay there and see the sunset and the night view.
The night view. So you just stay there for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very great.
It's quite enjoying.
And actually, there's not only the mountain of elephants.
Yeah.
Actually, at that place there are 4 mountains, and they're called the mountain of 4 beasts.
So 4 different animals.
4 different animals, and the elephant mountain is kind of the intro level of the four beasts, and the hardest I think is tiger or somewhat.
Oh, tiger!
So it's quite interesting.
How about the other 2?
It's lion, tiger, and I think it's
monkey.
No, it's not.
Apes.
I'm not very sure, but it's 4 kind of beasts. Yeah, and their intro level and the hardcore level. Yeah,
so different. It's a different difficulty for climbing.
For hikers, for hikers to go there.
All right.
Yeah. So I think that's all for the East
heartland
of Taipei City.
Now it's the most expensive, richest.
Now it's the richest, but
part of Taipei.
In 50 or 100 years ago, actually the center of Taipei is not there. It's in the West District of Taipei. So what did you know about West District in Taipei? Is there any famous name or?
In Taiwanese, manga, and
translated to Mandarin is Wanhua.
Yes.
Now its name is that. So what do you know about Wanhua?
I think they used to export tea in that part of Taipei, right?
Yeah. They used to a trade center.
Yeah, trade center.
So back to here's the brief history lesson for you, you guys, the Taipei, the history of Taipei. So actually, there's for our familiar history, there's actually 3 stages of the Taiwanese the history of Taipei. The first period is when we were ruled by the Qing dynasty.
Yeah,
and it's very, very long time ago. It's 19th century or somewhat. And at that time, people there in Manga, in Wanhua, and also in other part in the West District, because there's a river pass through there. It's called Danshui River. So actually, there's a trade spot, and there are traders and manufacturers there. And Taiwan is famous for the famous good of Taiwan is tea. So they make lots of money there, and lots of rich people live there in Wanhua in the West District. So actually that place become the center of Taiwan at that time. And then the history passes, the time passes after, when we get to the 20th century, the Japanese come. The Imperial Japanese, they conquered Taiwan, and now they become the owner of all these traders and all these trade spots around the port, around the river. So they still make a lot of money there, and they put their the political center. They put the president's hall there, and they put every other different things there. They make that place very prosperous.
Also build universities
and all that. They do a lot of things in Taipei, and mainly they focus on the West District very much. So at that time, they're still a center of Taipei. And the third stage is after the Imperial Japanese, after World War II ends, and the KMT government from China, mainland China, they come here and they occupy Taiwan. And they still remember the West District as their political center, but actually at that time, because there's a lot of conflict between the government and people there, so there actually happens a very important, I think it's a very important event called the 228 event, just right at the West District. I won't go deep into that. There will be remain to other episodes, but after that, and still the time passes, come to nowadays, the center of because the city there is very old, the buildings and township, all streets, all of it is very old. So people gradually just leave the West District and go to the new parts of Taipei to make a living or do something. So
settle down in new part of the city.
So they go to the East District, and in these 10 or 20 years, the East District become the
new
center of Taipei. So now, actually, for me as a person from West District, it's quite an old street for me, and and every you can see the facilities and infrastructure are quite old. There,
old city street,
but there's cultures, there are histories there, they remain there. So, I think there's a famous street you may heard about around West District is the Dihua District. Dihua Street.
We talked about it in the last episode.
Last season.
It's a New Year's market, and we saw a lot of. Now it's an arts and
craft center. There are creators that go there. And
a lot of beautiful pottery or pieces of art.
They do a lot of handicrafts or something that they sell there, and they have markets or.
It's like a new creative park there.
There's the creators a gathering there.
Yes,
and also Wanhua that you've talked about in ancient time is also a center, and still they remains a very important religious center still there. It's called Longshan Temple.
Oh,
it's a very. Have you been there?
No.
Longshan Temple.
No, I've been
there.
Yes.
So when did you been there?
Or maybe last summer.
Last summer, really?
Yes, I go there with my friends, and
you went there with your friends, right?
Yes,
and you prayed.
Yes, I prayed to a God for
marriage.
For marriage or for a new relationship.
Okay.
Hopefully that will work. Okay. Yes, I'm still single.
Hopefully.
So Longshan Temple has been it was a very old temple. It's actually, I think it's about 100, 200 years at least. So make sure having a new relationship after praying to the gods. Okay, so after the West District, that gets to the north part of Taipei.
Okay.
So the north part of Taipei, actually, there we have to cross the river and go into the kind of it's more like countryside, counties of countryside of Taipei City. So
it's not in the center, right?
Not in the center.
It's more like suburbs.
Suburbs, yeah. But actually, this suburbs is quite deeply connected to the center of Taipei City. There have historical reasons for that, because at 1853, you can say that's 19th century.
Yeah, a long
time ago. Actually, at that time, people there are mostly in West District, and there are no people in the northern part of Taipei City. But there's happened to have a bloody street fighting there. at the Wanhua district,
so
around Longshan Temple.
Between different
immigrants. So Taiwan is an immigrant society. So the people from different places,
in China,
they
came to Taiwan, and then they fought each other for land, for money, and all that. Yeah.
All that. Yeah.
And so people started to leave the city center for these kind of suburb areas because they start too much fighting
there, so they just leave, and so that's the now called Shiling and Neihu. They started to grow because people migrate there. Yeah. So I think maybe you're not so familiar with these areas. For me, it's just like there's some amusement park or some like mountainside there, so it's quite good for weekends to leave the city center. Yeah,
actually, I studied elementary school in Shiling.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So just another part of Taipei.
Yes,
I go riding bikes over there. And there's like a software park, right?
Oh, a software park?
Yeah, it's important part of Taiwan's software industry right now. Yeah.
And actually around there's I think it's a media center.
Oh yeah, media also for the.
So you will walk on the roads and you will see some people like shooting like TV dramas or something. Okay. Yeah, so it's quite interesting. You'll get a walk around there.
Also news company, broadcasting, a lot of things there.
Yeah. Okay. So after the north part, let's go to the south part. And the famous, I think it's quite famous for Taiwanese people, it's Gongguan and like Xingdian.
Yeah.
It's but not familiar with, if you know about these names, but not quite know about
where they are and what you have there,
so
right?
When you heard Gongguan, what do you think directly?
Well, NTU.
Yeah.
National Taiwan University.
Yeah.
So the best school in Taiwan.
Best school, so
arguable.
Are not.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But so both, I think, National Taiwan Taiwan University and Taiwan Normal University are there, right?
And they're not only the best universities, and they're also oldest universities.
Yes, the oldest one,
I believe. Yeah. So, like I think Taiwan University is since Japanese rule.
Yeah.
So since that time, there'll be the scholarship around the scholars around there, or
I think it was called Imperial University. When the Japanese were ruling.
Taipei. Imperial University. Yeah. But now it's Taiwan University, right? So I think those parts in the old time they're called. There are some people they thought they're for. Because they're university students, they think they're hipsters all around.
Okay.
And so it's kind of complicated. If you think that they're like intellectuals, but you also think they're hipsters. They just talk about and do nothing.
Yeah.
So for other part from the university, there's also actually the zoo.
Taipei Zoo.
There.
Very famous. In Wenshan, right?
Have you been there?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, I've been there for when I was small and not.
It's actually quite far away if you think about it. You have to take the metro for like half an hour.
Of Taipei.
Yeah, the edge of Taipei. And there's a gondola. Do you know about that?
Oh,
they're actually like a gondola. You can go to the like a mountainside of.
Oh, okay.
Of Taipei, and there's famous for teas, and you can make sure grab a tea if you're interested in.
Yeah, it's I think a very cultural place in
Taipei. And there's actually an artist village there.
Oh, really?
It's called the Treasure Hill.
Oh, Treasure Hill. Oh.
Yes. So there are a lot of artists that will stay there and do their creations. Yeah. So and generally that part is the cultural center or maybe the art center of Taipei. Yeah. So I think that's all for Taipei.
That's all about Taipei. All four parts of Taipei.
It's just the four parts. There's so many details or subtle.
Definitely, when you come visit, you should check out these places and then see what interests you, and then find a place to go. Right?
Yeah, just pick what you're interested in, like culture or like you like modern life or like history. You go to West District. Yeah, so. Just a brief intro about Taipei. Yeah,
I think Taipei is a very cool city to me. Living in Taoyuan, I think there's a lot more.
Varieties or
culture. I think more culture intensive in Taipei. Like a lot of bookstores, a lot of art galleries, and all that. So that's something that I don't usually find in Taoyuan, in where I live. In other cities, and so I really enjoy Taipei. And we go to Taipei quite a bit because it's very convenient to go there. Yeah.
So do you want to be a dragon people?
No, I don't.
In the future?
So as a dragon
too
people,
much pressure.
As a dragon people, I just put pressure onto that.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, that's all we have time for today. If you have any ideas about Taipei, please also comment down below.
Yeah.
And be sure to follow us on our social media, on podcasts, or YouTube and Spotify. Okay.
And share with us what you want to know more about
Yeah,
Taipei City.
You can ask us questions, and then we will answer to the best of our ability. Okay. So we'll talk more about Taipei. This is not the end of Taipei. We'll talk more about Taipei on Saturday. So be sure to check that out. And for the time being, it's time for us to go. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.